Late afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on another episode of the Lewis Sports Network. It is your boy Lewis coming back at you once again with another heavy hitter banger with yet another video. Make sure you do these things. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure your notifications are turned on, make sure you guys are sharing the content, and make sure you guys are commenting down on the streams on the comment section down below. Truly appreciate it. Spread the news about the channel. I truly appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. Let's get to it. So according to reports, shout out to BleacherReport.com, it says that the NBA players must notify teams of restart participation by June 24th, which means that they have until next Wednesday to notify the league if they are going to participate in resuming the season or not. So, according to reports, the NBA will allow players to opt out of participating in the restart 2019-2020 season in Orlando, Florida, as long as they notify their teams by June 24th, according to a memo obtained by the Shams Charania of Stadium and The Athletic. It is critical that every player understands that he has the right to choose not to return to play, says the league in a statement. Any player who exercises this right will not be disciplined, quote unquote. The league is going to have a protected players and excused players who will not see a salary reduction. The group includes those who are at higher risk for severe illness due to COVID-19, according to Charania. The GOAT, Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski, also reported, and Zach Lowe also, they reported that the NBA had asked all team personnel for medical records to determine risk for the COVID. The 2019-2020 season was initially suspended in March due to the pandemic, but the league had announced it will return on July 30th. It is not July 31st, ladies and gentlemen, it is July 30th. 22 teams competing in Orlando. All teams are expected to play 8 seeding games before the start of the 2020 playoffs. It also says, even though that the plan was approved by team representatives, there's several players against the league who have voiced their concerns about competing. A couple of key players, Kyrie, who is the vice president of the Players Association, has led the charge due to almost over 80 players who have come to him feeling that their voice has not been heard. And there's a little bit of people that have been upset about the fact that Chris Paul has not spoken out on this, because I think many people are thinking there's a conflict of interest among both LeBron and Kyrie Irving, which is really my personal opinion, and I will talk about that in a future video. But continuing, Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving reportedly asked players to sit out the resumed season per Wojnarowski. Los Angeles Lakers center Dwight Howard said he didn't want the return to be a distraction amid protests against racial injustice via Jill Martin of CNN. Other players have had concerns about the injury risk after long layoff, as well as the challenges involved in competing with a bubble in Orlando. Per Charania, anyone who leaves the campus without prior approval will be subjected to 10 to 14 days of quarantine and reduction in pay. The league has also announced safety precautions when players arrive in the facility in Orlando, including wearing masks and keep a social distance of 6 feet. Players will have the option of wearing Aura Smart Ring that tracks temperature, heat rate, and more, potentially leading to early detection of the coronavirus. So this is what all of this tells me, in my personal opinion. I honestly believe that when these players are going to try to come back, with the ones who decide whether to play or not to play, they keep saying that there's not going to be a quote-unquote punishment or discipline in terms of this. And that if anybody decides to go against the whole idea of when they come back and decide to try to leave the facility or anything, that they're going to be quarantined for 10 to 14 days and reduced in pay. This is a business, ladies and gentlemen, so the NBA has to make up for its lost profits. To be honest with you, the players are not going to get paid in full anyway, especially the ones that are kind of living quote-unquote paycheck to paycheck. This is why I continue to tell people all the time that the money that you've earned, make sure that you invest it. A lot of dudes don't do that. See, when you learn to try to invest your money and you do it the right way, guess what? You're not going to be one of those players that live paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of brothers don't understand that when they first come into the NBA. It's about making the money. And because you have so much of it, you don't know what to do with it. So you start spending it without making very smart decisions. And when you don't make those smart decisions, you do things like end up in debt. You don't have enough money to support your families. Things that you want to buy, you're not able to purchase. You know, a lot of things can happen once you don't have those resources. So the resources that you have, you really should be trying to protect it, man, and try to make smart decisions. And if you think, and the thing is, if you're not capable of making those decisions, you need to make sure that you have the right amount of people that's giving you the right advice too. Because sometimes following the wrong advice, it can lead you to a lot of bad things and a lot of consequences in your life. That's just what normally happens. when you don't take care of that. Now, I do understand that there's just players who need to get paid because they really haven't had the opportunity. This for me is really more so with like rookies and second year players in the NBA than players who have played for a long time. Like you should have known by now long enough for being in the league long enough that you really need to be smart of how you invest their money. And some people who've played in the NBA, they just don't do that. Next thing you know, they're owing so much, you know, when it comes to trying to pay bills and trying to keep up with things, and you know, it makes it very difficult. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reports on the latest on the Lewis Sports Network, Leah Beecher Report. So once again, thank you for watching another episode on the Lewis Sports Network. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man, on this situation, on the players playing and not playing. This is why I continue to think that this is a conflict of interest issue, but I will cover that in another video on LeBron and Kyrie as to why I feel they are both hypos, short for hypocrites. Anyway, bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you for watching. And like I said, even though I understand both sides, as like I said in the other video, when I did the live stream, I'm still telling you why I agree and disagree on both of their points on LBJ and Kyrie. But anyway, as I said again, for the second time, bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you for watching.